All right, Bang Bang, it's the rundown. It is Wednesday, it's December 8th from Chicago, presented by the Barstool Golf Time app that's available in the App Store now. Book your next tee time by downloading it, and from now until the end of the year, earn double reward points when submitting course reviews. To enter a review, all you have to do is filter to your course and click Submit a Review on the course home screen. Carl, you're a big golf guy. You can attest to this app.
Yeah, it's a great app. If you don't have this app, you need to get the app. This is an app you can easily put on your phone. You can use it anytime you need to use the app. This is something that can improve your experience. If you have the app, get the app.
Get the app. Barstool Golf Time. All right, to lead us off here, the Oakland Athletics to Vegas is gaining steam. White Sox, Dave, let's start with you.
It sounds a little similar to what the Bears are going through to me. Is that right? So they just bid on like real estate in Vegas for where they would put a potential new stadium. And it could be happening, but it might not be at the same time. Am I reading this correctly?
Is that how you read it?
No, I mean, I read it as such. I think if the Oakland Athletics go to Vegas, I think it's only right for Major League Baseball to reverse their Black Sox decision. Whether it's illegal or not, now you're embracing gambling, and there's only one person who can stand before as the representative of the Chicago Black Sox and accept this from Major League Baseball.
I
John
don't
Cusack.
think that has anything to really fuck that guy. We'll get to him.
He wore the uniform.
Maybe in a week or two, though. Anyways, I think it's just such a no-brainer move. If they're not going to put a stadium in Oakland or right near Oakland, Vegas is the only option. I think it would be a slam dunk. I know it would give me an excuse to get out to Vegas once a summer for a 3-game set. And like the amount of money you could make just on visiting fans alone, because everybody would make that their destination of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just such a no-brainer. And you see what I mean. They're playing on a fucking football field right now. I know they don't use it for that anymore, but it's a stadium so bad, and they don't get anybody to go. They got to close the upper deck, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, just move the team to Vegas. It'll be better for all parties.
Now, when was the last time Major League Baseball expanded?
It'd be the Marlins and Rockies, right?
Well, I think it was the Rays and Diamondbacks.
Rays and Diamondbacks, yeah.
20,
Rays and Diamondbacks.
20 years ago, over
96 or 97,
something
maybe?
like that. If obviously they have to move out of Oakland, and I've seen like 6 stadium renderings for like
good stadium rendering.
Me too, for like it's very green, it's on the water, blah blah blah. They have like it would be like a destination kind of in Oakland, like just one of those kind of crown jewels if they did it right. I kind of feel like if baseball, you know, they're always looking for more money, like, right? They have the CBA. You might want to expand, and you might want to leave a place like Vegas open for $1 billion franchise expansion fee.
I mean, you're always clamoring for a team to go back to Montreal. Why couldn't they just go back to...
Well, you're not going to add just one. So you could have Montreal and you can have Vegas.
You shook your head.
I'm just out on Vegas and all these sports teams. I love Vegas is great because it's like not like any other city and all that. So I just don't like, okay, now we got an NFL team and here comes a baseball team. There's going to be an NBA team. Like, just leave Vegas alone. Vegas is perfect the way it is. So the Oakland Athletics going to Vegas, it's kind of, I would, obviously the Raiders has worked out and that seems pretty fucking cool and all that stuff. I know, it's just, like, you don't need that. No one cares.
As a Vegas guy, I like it because there's something different between what's T-Mobile, obviously, where they do like most of the UFC fights and the Knights play, and then obviously the Raider Stadium looks cool, but there's nothing like a baseball stadium.
No, baseball's a pretty
There's
sport.
something about that being there where you could see the fucking infrastructure. You could see it all.
It's romantic, Ed.
Someone would say that. Correct. And if they really do pick the spot where the Trop is, that's like an unbelievable spot for a baseball field.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Wynn Golf Course even. Like, that would be sick.
It's just who goes to Vegas and is like, oh, let's go to a baseball game.
Dude, I would do that every year, and I know a fuck ton of – I know a guy – actually, you guys all know him too, a White Sox Twitter guy. You guys have met him, who bought Vegas season tickets. He has money. He bought Vegas season tickets for the Raiders just so he could have access to the Bears game. Was that this year? Mm-hmm. And he was offering me, he's like, hey, I got all the tickets, so if you're ever out in Vegas and want to go to a game near home, like, let me know. They're yours.
I think an NFL game's way different than catching like a Tuesday night the fucking Orioles are in town.
That's true, I guess. But if you're traveling for it,
Yeah.
Sure, that's different.
If I was just sitting there and the A's were playing the Angels, no, that would not entice me.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I could 1,000. I would want to every year that I could make it work. I would be in Vegas for a White Sox series. They'd play there one series a year, and I would love taking a few minutes away from the tables to go to a 3-hour, 4-hour baseball game.
Collect yourself,
regather, and then hit the tables again.
Would it probably have to be a dome? So what I said doesn't make sense.
It would have to be a dome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what I said doesn't really.
Well, closed roof. Domes are different. It's not just like you're in the Astrodome.
I mean, you're in the,
you
you
can't
can't play
too hot.
the
It's too
heat.
Yeah. So
That's why they have the Chase
Take
Field,
back.
which is the worst stadium on the
full
planet.
take back or halfsies?
half, because I'd still think it'd be. There's a way to make it.
They
there's
have a
way to make it
AAA
look
team
cool.
already.
Yeah.
I believe it's the Mets affiliate, the Las Vegas 21s.
50 ones.
Next
51s.
on the
Why is
list.
it the 50 ones?
Because that's how many? I don't know.
Who knows?
Whatever.
Next on the list, this TikTok went viral. Apparently, hotel continental breakfasts are dirty.
Like the waffle station. Check the waffle maker and see if the waffle maker is even clean. Okay? Because oftentimes it's not. But much more awful than that is the fact that that waffle batter don't get made every day. That waffle batter gets reused until it starts to smell like beer.
Chief, what do you got?
no shit, like no shit. We're
That
talking.
doesn't stop you from eating them, though.
I don't like the eggs there. Usually gross me out. The scrambled egg, the big platter of scrambled eggs, which they just poured out of a jug onto a hot pan. Like no thanks, but I'll dabble on the bacon.
That bacon, that little
Yeah, no, I know
slide open thing.
Yep.
The sausage patty's excellent.
Wait,
Yeah.
you don't like traditional like well, I wouldn't say like whatever. Some traditional fast food stuff, but you'll fuck around with continental breakfast bacon at like a Red Roof Inn.
Yeah, well, I can't say. I'm not sure.
Red Roof Inn.
I mean,
give
I don't
you.
think.
Okay,
I don't
maybe
think.
I went
I
a
don't
little
think.
far.
I'm
They're
thinking
not.
like a Marriott or a Hampton Inn or something like that.
You're lucky if the fucking vending machine works at that.
You're lucky if your door locks. Okay, like Red Roof Inn, no. Okay, but I mean, I've been in some shitty situations before where it's like you're working at a place in like a remote area of North Carolina, and your food options are very, very limited. So it's like the Bojangles doesn't open until 11, but you have to be there at, like it's just this is your one shot at a meal, and there wasn't a McDonald's around. I would fuck with some bacon and maybe a little cereal.
What do you got,
on
Carl?
breakfast.
I mean the one thing these things do really well that they make themselves is sausage and or biscuits and gravy.
I
If you
was
get
just
biscuits
about
and
to
gravy
say.
at a Continental, that's actually not too shabby. The other thing I would say is Continental breakfasts are legitimately the last. These are the last place you'll find one of the all-time great American breakfast items, and that's the mini box of cereal.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the only place you're not going to get
Take
it.
a couple for the road, too.
Unless you maybe Costco or Sam's Club.
I remember my grandma used to have them like when the kids would like, cause she had, I think we have 35. My mom's 1 of 9, so there's like 35 cousins. So anytime there was like a big thing, it would be like a race to see who could like get the Fruit Loops in the morning. But there was like the variety pack of all the different cereals, and that would be like I would have the
great,
bacon
yeah.
and I would have Cheerios.
You got the hot thing of
How many boxes?
porridge.
How many boxes?
At least two boxes.
Great family vacation.
Ed, can I tell you a quick
breakfast.
story?
How quick do we got? We got
we
a
got
lot
a
of
minute.
topics here, and
We got a minute. So when I was in college, we were, I think it was 120 meals on a card that you had per term. We were on trimesters. So
and
if
would you
ra-
go to hotels and eat their continental
we
breakfast?
would go to
without
the
staying
one.
there.
We would just walk in, eat the
Okay.
biscuits and gravy, and eventually, I think it was a Hampton Inn. They caught us and they said, "You guys aren't allowed back here," because we would just walk in, chow down on the continental breakfast when we'd run out of the swipes. And
How many
I've heard
free
that's
ones
a
did
thing.
you steal?
it was over the course of a month. And it was weekend, so probably 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
How long do you
Wasn't
think that
often,
would have
but-
taken him?
This is a little laugh. Don't ask me. You're the fucking conductor here, pal. What did you set the over-under at?
I don't know, but we got
Small handful of times.
I
and
respect
they caught
it.
us.
And I love a waffle maker too. I love the batter waffle maker. That was like a staple, a prep school staple. So
I saw
going on?
the title of that blog said, "Don't watch this if you love continental breakfast waffles." I didn't watch it because I don't know what.
It just basically alluded to that it's dirty. Like they don't
Yeah.
clean it that well, which like no shit.
like no shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot. Fucking bacteria can't survive that hot ass iron plate thing.
What you think? My take is, as dirty as it may be, I do appreciate places that at least give you that. They go the extra mile. There's nothing worse than walking down there and your only option is the bagels and the
bagels are never good.
And
They're
They're
always
always
stale.
gross.
Yeah.
nice little option. So,
Small banana.
so pretty much none of us are deterred away from.
No, I love a continental breakfast.
I seek out the biscuits and gravy.
All right.
Okay, so I don't seek out anything, but if it's an option that's there, I will take a gander at it. I usually take a gander and walk away, but sometimes it's like, hey, that bacon looks pretty good.
All right. Next, we got LaSalle basketball. They had a smoke machine for an electric intro. White Sox, Dave, what do you got?
I watched it and I'm like, this is the most whatever video I've ever seen, and I don't even know why it's on the list or why it went viral or why people are talking.
I mean,
about it.
this is
it was kind of funny. I
This
guess
is a D1 basketball program with some history. Like they're in that Philadelphia, the 5. They made the tournament and maybe won a game maybe 5-6 years ago. It that looked like
a high school gym. Yeah, I get
or
it.
like a middle school. Like
I get it, but it's like whatever. I don't care.
Carl?
Yeah, the smoke machine market, I feel like there should be more impressive stuff. Like the smoke machines, if you say you have a smoke machine, I don't think anybody ever pictures the low end of the scale. I think people always think like, oh, fucking A.
Just go get a fire hydrant. That would have been better than that. Like I think everybody like has this vision like we're going to run out like the U, like Miami, like how they used to do it and be cool. And this, it was like no one's running through it. It was just like in front of the logo. It's like it's one of those things where it's like, did nobody raise their hand and be like, this is a bad idea?
No, because let me tell you what probably happened. Whoever did this probably was in charge of a lot of other things that were probably more important, right? Like probably like rolling the chairs out, making sure, the bleachers are tidied up. And the person's like, you know what? Like,
I was
we
on
got the smoke machine in the fucking back room. Might as well. Like, this is a big day. Let's roll it out.
That looked like a humidifier.
Yeah, and it's a shame that all their other work that day that was hard work is going to be fucking, down because of the smoke machine.
That's a good point. When we were in Omaha for the College World Series, we did 2 college trips. We went to Nebraska and we went to Creighton. And when we went to Nebraska, you can imagine how many people work at Nebraska. We go into the equipment room. There's 15 people in the equipment room. We go out in the field. There's 10 guys working on the field. There were more employees within this facility than you possibly could have imagined going in. You're like, how many people actually work for Nebraska football? People everywhere. We go to Creighton a couple days later. 2 fucking guys. What do? Soccer, basketball, laundry, facility management, scholarship upkeep. The duality of those 2 schools next to each other, I have such a high appreciation for the guys that are driving the equipment van, doing the fucking laundry like Ed's talking about.
Yep.
Get away the smoke machine stuff. I mean, give these guys a break. Like give them extra, like Dave said, a little extra swipes on the dorm card or something. Mm-hmm. Those people make college athletics because we always think of the LSUs and the Miamis, but the more reality is you have just these guys that are like, yeah.
Sturk, did you guys ever do that? When I was in college, it was kind of like work study, but it wasn't quite. The baseball team always had to run security for football and basketball and wrestling and other sports. And then when we were in season, other sports would do that shit for us, like set up the field and everything, blah, blah, blah. So I got a firsthand look. Like I had to set up the wrestling, all the mats in the main gym, and do the basketball. So to Ed's point, like that guy was probably like, just throw this shit out there. Like,
just
without
light
even
it off.
thinking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Why not? And then like that happens, and he's probably got his arms crossed, like, okay, didn't go what I thought.
He's like, next time we're gonna get 2 smoke machines.
Okay, yeah, we'll put one off the ceiling so it comes down too. I feel bad for the smoke machine guy. Before we move on, we got to talk about Mack Weldon. Dave, I know you're a big fan of Mack Weldon.
I love Mack Weldon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you like the?
I wear the hoodie all the time, and Chiefs gives me shit because it like never leaves my back.
Yeah, you do wear that all the time.
It's a great hoodie. Like I remember talking to Mush about it
wearing
off
it right
camera.
now.
It's only because it actually does need to be washed. It stinks. But I was wearing it when we were hunting when I killed something. Not that you would have any clue what I'm talking about. But I was talking to Mush off This is when I was in Jersey for the White Sox playoffs of away games. We were talking about Mack Weldon, like, no cameras around. We were just having a convo. He's like, it's my favorite clothesline. Like, they are so fucking comfortable. And I'm like, I wear that shit all the time. Like, unironically, we were talking about it, how much we love it.
Beautiful. So, Mack Weldon, they got the Ace sweatshirts and sweatpants. They got the warm knit collection. They're perfect for your holiday routine and for gifts. Mack Weldon, they got a gift set. What a concept. That's very nice. I like a good gift set. One gift that holds as many gifts inside, and no one is doing it better with gift sets than Mack Weldon this year. With limited edition color drops and a bevy of new releases, their holiday gift sets are a perfect present for any guy on your list. This holiday season, every guy deserves to wear unforgettable clothes that he loves for the moments with loved ones that he'll never forget. That's why Mack Weldon is always on my holiday list for giving and getting. For 20% off your first order, visit mackweldon.com/rundown and enter promo code rundown. Mack Weldon, get it right this holiday season.
That Mack Weldon with that ad read going for the heartstrings.
Yeah.
I don't like that. A little romantic.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was for you. All right, we got a couple high school football screwings here. We'll start with the first one, 12 men on the field. Chief, what do you got on that?
It just, when I hear that play and that 12 men on the field, it brings me back to that old Bill Cowher one. If you remember that, where he's so mad that he prints it out like a real time on film. This is in the 90s. Circles all 12 players and runs out on the field and shoves it down the referee's front pocket. Be like, fuck you. They had 12 guys on the field. So like that was the first thing. I don't think that had that much of an impact on that play. They ran into the week. I think.
But regardless, though,
they broke the rule. I know that's a hell of a way to lose, but I don't know. That one didn't resonate with me as much as the other one.
I feel like 12 men on the field is like one of the hardest. I always get so impressed when the color guys he's like, oh, they got 12 men on the. They break the huddle. They're not even on the field. They isn't even 5 seconds, and like Tony Romo will be like, oh, there's 12 men on the field. I'm like, how does he know so quickly?
Yeah, you got to count fast.
It's like counting cards, which I know how to do.
Dave, what were you saying?
So I would say in both those situations, 95% of those kids will never play another snap of football after that game. I remember my last at-bat of my high school career, and I think about it 15 years later and still get pissed off about it because I blew it. It was against Nequa. We were down 3-2 in the last inning. We were the home team, bases loaded, nobody out, and I was the leadoff hitter. And first pitch, I fouled out. And then next hitter, my buddy Pat, he struck out on like a 12-pitch at-bat, and then our best hitter, Nick Brown, played. He was awesome player. He played at Iowa, flew out to the center field fence. We thought he hit a walk-off grand slam. We talk about that play or that inning to this day, and we're all sickened about it. Like, if I had a state championship ripped from my hands and by no fault of my own because the ref fucked up, I'd never, ever forgive that ref.
Yeah,
ever.
You're right. And it's one of those things where when the toothpaste is out of the tube, like they didn't think about how it would be once they did replays and shit, the NFL and college.
Yeah.
At the high school would get fucked by this.
They should probably, for the bigger games, have replay. I mean, the technology
they have the
I know.
cameras.
I know.
Yeah.
They're
My high school freshman year, we got screwed in state. Your buddy that we should have won play at the plate.
What? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a tough one. I know they
Yeah.
talk about that a lot. Mike Giller, and I think it was Colin Bates was the pitcher for Naperville Central.
He
Very
was
good pitcher.
awesome. He's the best pitcher I've ever faced.
I'm surprised Eddie's not a high school referee.
That's the thing.
Like,
so
the fact you're not an umpire, but you're like, I don't do behind the plates. I only do second base. Or, like, I can see you doing JV freshman girls
Those guys are
basketball
all
just 'cause you're like,
basically
hey, it's nice
volunteers.
Saturday morning. I'm up. It's in the neighborhood. Get a cup of coffee.
obviously those guys get
No,
paid,
they're
but
not
like my buddies,
volunteers.
I
No,
know
they
they're
get
not,
paid.
but I know they're getting paid. But it's not like they're all working real jobs. My buddy Mike Kelly, his dad is a lawyer. He makes money.
My dad's a ref.
He
I was a
refs for
hockey
fun.
ref.
Yeah,
He
and
refs for fun.
I can't tell you how many times he's told me, you should get your patch.
My dad's encouraged
Some
me.
good
to
extra
have-
money.
umpire.
Now, what is his, when he's pitching you, is it a little extra hustle here? Is it, good
Good
activity
side
keep-
money, good
okay.
walking around
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got,
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
All right.
I
My
did-
old man pitches me on doing it because he's like, this is when it comes up. We'll be watching like a Big Ten game on like a Saturday morning. It'll be like 11:30 or something. Purdue's about to punt. And he'll be like, Now look at this guy right here. You know, he just like comes in, he throws a whole thing. He's like, you think this guy got up today, or you think this guy got up day one and was just reffing Big Ten? No, he had to start somewhere. You know, a little 7th and 8th grade here, a little high school hustle here. Next thing you know, you get a call. Did I ever tell you about my buddy Billy from the neighborhood? He did the Rose Bowl back in night. So like, there's this element of pride of like, I think giving your son the tools to then one day officiate some like large scale college sport.
Like I said, volunteer. I didn't mean like I meant that. That's typically not those guys' main source of income.
Right. Yeah.
Like when I was umpiring, I would do tournaments, and they were 2-hour time limits to games. So I'd do 5 games a day at $50 a game, and it was cash.
Yeah, it's big money.
So
That's what I was gonna say,
21,
too, yeah.
22-year-old kid making $500 a weekend just umping baseball games, you're like, fuck yeah.
That I hated it.
Hockey or baseball?
Hockey.
Dude, that's the worst one.
So,
to
but
referee.
like
Fuck
the way,
yeah, it is.
So
By far.
and like they make you start. So I think I was like 16 or 17, and you know they make you start at the lowest level, which is mites. So you're 6-year-olds, 6 and 7-year-olds who can barely skate, but that does not stop the parents from being like
psychopaths.
Yeah,
Crazy, yeah.
And so it's just like what am I doing here? It's not even worth the aggravation of the $30 to $50 or however much you're getting per game, because it was just like all these people are crazy. Like,
Yeah, I did coach's pitch, and the guy was like, still like, wouldn't stop giving me
Calm.
shit. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's coach's pitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? It's coach's
Well, be
pitch.
better, Ed.
It was nightmare.
Yeah, give him an authentic experience, Ed, or else these kids are going to go home and be like, I don't want to play anymore.
I remember after
Unstructured.
we did the thing with Jeremy Roenick a couple years ago, his thing, like I was maybe on the ice for a total of 5 minutes, and I was completely soaked.
What's he doing? Raking somebody's yard with those gloves?
Head to toe, and my feet were killing me, and I wanted to die from just obviously it's muscles I had never used before because I never played hockey or anything. But I remember tweeting out, I'm like thinking about it. Do refs get line changes in hockey like the players do? And everyone's like, you fucking moron. I don't follow hockey, obviously. And those guys have to be in absurdly good shape.
they're
a
in
good
good
point.
shape. They're good skaters, but like they're not. Typically for lower, like you have you and one other guy, and he's basically you have a ref and a linesman. So you're not really like skating the way a player skates.
course.
It's kind of just like you're casually like following the play, going blue line to blue line, or like goal line to the far blue line, and vice versa for the other guy. And it's not as labor intensive. And I think if you get to higher levels, like you have to like bomb down ahead of the play to make sure you're there for that offsides call. But beyond that, it's not that.
I don't know, man. Those
And
Like if you're a high level referee, you're in shape.
yeah, that's
There's
what I
no,
mean.
like-
there's no
Joe
West.
There's no Joe West. There's no Joe West. You might have some beer belly guys, but they're still like in decent
Strong
decent-
legs.
Yeah.
and then there was also a second play.
the fumble return.
Yeah,
That one I think was worse.
you think so?
Yes.
I don't, dude. The first thing you're taught as a ref, I'm assuming, is to count how many guys are on the field. You know,
The
He
ball like clearly broke the plane. They like the
I
kid,
mean, you got linemen blocking it. Yeah, but like I think this one was. It was bad.
I think it's what's more likely. Would you rather, if you're going to be like, would I rather give it to the guys who are on the 1 inch line and it's like a hair this way or that way, or would you rather give it to the guy who ripped it out of his hand, started running with the ball in the end zone and ran like 103 yards to win the game? I think it's like Ty goes the runner. Ty goes to the team that was like pushing it at the goal line. Like I think that kid, the second angle from behind,
Yeah, it was
clearly
tough.
shows.
But I think you're discounting the first one as well because that pushes them 5 yards back. And
No,
then it's
I
a
know,
different-
but I think if
didn't affect the actual play that happened.
If I was a quarterback, it was a sneak, right?
yeah.
It was a sneak. If I was a quarterback, then like I would make sure that referee was like in witness protection, Henry Hill style. Because the game should have been over. It should have, and I should have been the one scoring the game-winning
Like you
touchdown
did
at the
score
state
it.
championship.
And maybe you
exactly.
just let go of the ball because you knew you were in.
Right.
Like
Which you shouldn't do, but
Right.
yeah.
But still, they're both horrible ways to lose. But like one team actually like won
on
that play, and they gave it to touch on the other team. Like that to me is crazy.
That's tough.
I think it's important everyone knows, though, that Barstool Chicago's official position is we have major sympathy for high school athletes whose careers end tragically at the hands of referees, because that stuff will never leave you.
I got ejected from my last
we're here
football
for
game.
you have
Good way
support
to,
with us.
Good way to put a bow on that. Last story here. Something going on with Finland's prime minister. You wrote the blog, so I'll let you explain it.
It just popped up today. Finland's prime minister, she's 36. She's actually pretty hot, and I'm going to stop here and see, did you guys get a chance to?
I did. I did.
Any disagreements?
She's very attractive.
All right, we're going to come back to that point. She's 36. She's a prime minister of Finland, which is in Scandinavia, and she was out partying until 4 a.m. at a Helsinki nightclub called The Butcher. And was like I had a dance club, and she was getting text message from her Minister of Foreign Affairs, which is like a really formal fucking title. And the guy was texting her like, "Hey, like I have COVID, or someone has COVID, and like you can't be out right now." But she didn't have her phone with her because she was at the Helsinki nightclub. So now people are like, "What's going on with the Finland prime minister?" And personally, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Do you remember in like the lead up to the 2016 election, like Hillary put out that ad being like, "Who do you want answering the phone at 3 a.m?" It's like Finland's got everything on lockdown so much she doesn't take her phone with her. Like no one's answering the phone. We're Finland. Problems can't be that fucking bad. I thought that was a great story, and I love the idea of just leaving your phone around. I also, you know how we have secretaries of everything? The fact that you just brought that up, ministers, I think we should just be ministers now too. Secretary sounds like
Secretary of
like
Defense.
the
Minister of Defense. Yeah, I think I like that better.
It sounds more badass.
Yeah,
and
we might be able to
intimidating.
fix this whole country if we just make that switch from you're the secretary of whatever office or department, now you're the minister of Homeland Security.
Yeah, I'd rather be
I like
deputy
that.
minister too than deputy secretary. Once you start using secretary, things start getting a little.
You think
a
like
little flimsy
librarian,
here.
like
Yeah.
the secretary at the library. That's like
Deputy secretary is like assistant to the regional manager. Like that sounds terrible.
Might as
So,
well be dead.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
resign my commission. Like don't make me that job.
the other thing that I thought was interesting about this Finnish babe, and she's hot. Like I said, she's hot. I post the blog. The title of the blog is like 36-year-old smoke show prime minister from Finland or something. The amount of people in our comment section that are like, dude, this isn't a smoke show. It's like, oh, please enlighten me. Please explain to me what meets your definition of a smoke show. We're talking about a woman holding like the highest level of a sovereign foreign office, 36 years old, out at the fucking club till 4 a.m., probably getting after it, not married, probably trying to get a little bit of a taste here. And people are going to judge this woman negative, be like, dude, that adds points. Just the fact we're even talking about this. The whole concept of this is a smoke show.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, just fucking take it to the bank. And if you or if you're one of these people that's like, actually, it's only an 8.65 girl, oh, fucking kiss my ass. And I just want to say that.
Well said. Very well said. All right, after show. Anybody have anything? You taking shots at Chief about deer hunting? Have we done that enough?
I think I've done that enough.
Okay.
I feel for the kid.
Sorry, Chief.
See, this is just set him up to patronize me even more.
What do you mean? I said I feel for you.
You don't mean that.
Yeah, I didn't want
Also, the
double
kid.
meat.
The
was-
kid.
The
yeah,
kid was.
the kid. You know, don't even. This has been like you have one over me, and you are thoroughly enjoying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Duh. So you're trying to act like you don't care. Like
So-
that you wish I got one.
Two things on that, aside from me killing a chief killing a deer and Chief not killing a deer. I have been very introduced to anti-hunting Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the worst Twitter to be introduced to. Like even worse than politics Twitter. Like
You're
all
saying
the-
like hunting nitpickers or
No.
hunting
Both.
like
And
PETA?
I'll say it's if you're anti-hunting, fine. Like I can hear your arguments, but I will never, ever, ever hear your argument if you like. I was getting quote tweeted galore on the picture of me over the deer. I'm not a vegetarian, but like you can't say that. The fucking meat you're eating, chances are, it was farmed and lived an awful lifestyle before being sent off to a slaughterhouse and just being gutted for mass production. I killed a deer and it dropped a few seconds later, and I'm eating as much of it as I possibly can, giving it away. It's so much more humane to do what I did than to.
The other part of that too that always drives me crazy is how do people think these animals die in the wild if they die of natural causes?
They get hunted. And
No.
Surrounded by family.
No, right. They
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
the old lady in Titanic. That they just lay down and die warm in their bed. Like, no.
It's
like,
other animals.
They get ripped apart by coyotes. There's a reason why there's 3 does every buck is because the bucks take those antlers that you see and they gorge each other to death with it. So like that happens all the time. So it's like that animal's dying and it's not going to die like some like nice, warm, delicate drift off while they're sleeping death. It's going to be violent and terrible no matter what.
Someone said
so
this to me,
is
too.
probably way more humane than
It
I'd rather
is.
be shot and killed than ripped apart by a
and
coyote.
bleed to death.
Yeah.
Over the course of days. So
Be alive while they're ripping my legs
So
off.
people were also saying it's like, oh, you didn't even go out hunted. You just waited. You sat in a tree and waited for a deer to come out in front of you. And someone replied to them who was a hunter and is like, what do you think spiders do? What do you think alligators do? Like it's very prevalent in nature already for animals to wait for their prey and for that animal to attack the prey.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. That's pro hunting Twitter.
I never thought I'd get into hunting in my life, like being a suburban kid who's never hardly shot a gun. I shot a gun 2 other times.
I hear you.
And I after being educated on it, and you do learn a lot, and it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And all the jokes about me being bloodthirsty for deer, that's not the case. Like it was like when I had the deer in my crosshairs, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this until you do it, and then it's a rush, and you feel good about it.
But you're the one making those jokes. It's not like people are walking around being like, that Dave Williams is bloodthirsty. Like you were
That's
the one
true.
who was walking
No,
around being
I
like,
know that, but that's
an
what I'm
instrument of
saying, like, that
warfare.
was-
I'm bloodthirsty. So
That's-
when you kill a deer and people are like, well, this fucking cocksucker, like,
With the middle
But that's
finger
not
up.
why they did it.
Why? Who did?
I
what?
think some people talk shit to you just because they're like, whatever. I know.
Well,
he's gonna
yeah,
get
you
mad.
obviously get those people, but like a lot of, and I do get the picture of me flipping off
a little tasteless.
Well, he was flipping me off.
I was flipping Chief
Exactly.
off.
Yeah, which
But-
I don't think anyone would have a problem
I
with
think
that.
you text that picture to Chief. I don't think you.
Well, I knew.
Well,
I saw
had
his tweet. That
I had
said,
tweeted
I missed again
because I got a text saying that he missed again
from a mole, which
Which-
I don't appreciate.
I mean, guys.
which he did. So then I was like unconfirmed reports. So then he like quote tweeted my tweet being like, "Hey, fuck you." Yeah, I got one. So like I didn't have a problem with that either. So I don't know. It was an interesting weekend. I can't believe I have to like. That's the worst part about this. Like hunting season's over. So like I can't go again for
Yeah,
a
you
year.
gotta-
So Dave's gonna be able to just poke me with this.
Gotta sit on it.
It'll be June and he'll make a comment like this.
Well, all right. Rough and Rowdy on Friday. Buy rnr.com. Make sure you're tuning in. Gonna be a big
Take a
one.
vote real quick.
Uh,
Who you got?
Who you got? Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in it. I'm gonna go Nadu.
I'm gonna take Jerry in a fight probably closer than
I
people
feel like
think.
Jerry has seen some shit. He
has.
he's been through some shit. I think
It's
he'll tap
fact.
into that and he'll be just fine.
I'm excited to see what Nadu brings to the table because it's just like I don't think I I
Can
think that's a
we-
huge
It's gonna
question
be-
mark.
yeah.
Huge question mark.
High anticipation.
Can
Could go
I
either
speak
way, really.
frankly and off the
Probably
record?
the other way.
I mean, we're
We're
not
on the
done
record.
yet. So
Okay, what's on the record? I know that was a joke.
That's it.
you never know.
Here's
with
my
that.
prediction: that they get in the ring and just try to murder each other for 30 seconds, and then they both get so gassed that they can't even lift their arms.
Very, very possible. Very possible. We'll see. Buy
They've been
rnr.com Friday night. See you there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.